Can you believe that Latocha Scott is actually trying to blame Jesus for all the backlash she's been getting? So, just a little background. Around September, October, November of last year, SWV and xscape started filming a reality show. The reality show is just now airing March this year. Now, the first couple of episodes, Tamika Scott dropped the bombshell that her sister, Latocha Scott, and Latocha's husband, Rocky Bivens, allegedly stole over $30,000 in royalties from Tamika about 10 years ago. Now, when this aired, it immediately went viral. Social media took it. Their comments were going crazy, calling Latocha thief, liar, run that girl her 30K back, all kinds of stuff. Now, the problem is Latocha is currently promoting her gospel album, which is supposed to drop April 7th. So in the midst of promoting the gospel album, she is being called all kinds of thieves. Now, she goes on her media tour because she's already doing this for promoting the gospel album. So she's going to fight back. She decides to basically call her sister a liar. She's deflecting. She's outright saying, I don't know what she's talking about. Never heard anything about this. Drop receipts. If it happened, show the receipts. So Tamika drops the receipts. Now the receipts show that someone went in the system, changed the address where Tamika was supposed to be getting royalty checks to Latocha's address, where Latocha was currently living with her and Tamika's mother. Now, not only did they have that, where the address was changed, they had Latocha pretending to be Tamika's manager to basically legitimize this change of address. But the company that was sending the royalties out actually had copies of the canceled checks, which showed a third-party endorsement of Tamika's checks to Edward Bivens, who, of course, that's Rocky's name, his legal name, Edward Bivens. So that's a receipt. I mean, Tamika dropped the receipts. So then, after this happens, Latocha decides to pivot from calling her sister an outright liar and, basically ridiculing Candy's singing voice, mocking Candy's crying all the time. She pivots from that. And instead, she tries to salvage something for her upcoming gospel album release. And she makes a video. She basically goes live on IG. And what was supposed to come across as remorseful basically seems completely self-serving. So she has the standard dismissive phrase of, if I did anything to hurt you, or if I did anything that made you feel like, she starts almost every apology off with, if I did this. So we already know that's denying any real acknowledgement of wrongdoing. It's not taking accountability for anything. It's not a real apology. So right there, that's apology out the window. She apologizes to Candy. She apologized to Tiny. She apologizes to Tamika. Apologizes to her mother with the, if I did anything. So, okay, whatever. Not a real apology. But the part that really kind of, I thought was terrible was, not only did she go on to make sure that we knew that she was the real victim in the situation, because you know what, how do we know she can handle all of the stuff that's coming at her on social media? How do we know that she can handle that mentally when she's basically just being held accountable for the things that she allegedly did wrong. So she makes herself out to be the victim and then tries to blame Jesus by saying that all this came about just because she wanted to sing gospel music.
And a lot of the people that y'all know, I'm not even going to say Christians or people, believers, y'all know when you say you want to do something for God and you just be attacked. It's hard, y'all.
Now, she's completely bypassing the fact that not only did we see her stank attitude in almost every scene, except the ones where it was just about her, but we also saw her shady behavior in the meeting with Motown Gospel, where she admits that she hasn't told anyone in xscape that she was in negotiations for a solo project that was possibly going to affect the tour that they were on. Now, even Rocky knew this sounded bad because in the clip, in that episode, he immediately throws up his hands and he says something like, "I didn't know that. She didn't tell me that." Effectively throwing Latocha under the bus, saying, "Oh yeah, I know this sounds shady. That wasn't me. That was all her. She didn't tell me she was doing that." But then we saw that when the ladies of FWV and xscape actually sat down together for those initial meetings to decide if they wanted to do a tour together, Latocha, who's the one who wants to sing gospel so she can inspire and encourage others, her demeanor through those meetings brought the whole tone down to the point where I think it was Coco from SWV. She was like, "I need a drink." So, as a Christian, where is the witness in driving somebody to drink because of your stank attitude that you have? Coming there, frown on the face, looking sourpuss down in the mouth, all of that. And she is just being completely closed off from everyone. Everyone's having a good time, trying to possibly put a tour together. And she's just looking like she doesn't want any part of it. Just, poor mouth, everything just in her face. It's just a blank wall. Of course, everyone notices that. But those are the things that people saw on the actual reality show. And that's what they started talking about. They were talking about the fact that, she allegedly took her sister's money. They were talking about the fact that she always had a bad attitude. They were talking about the fact that her walk wasn't lining up with her, what she's saying she believes to everyone. No one was persecuting her for Jesus' sake and the gospel. They were holding her accountable for her unchristian-like behavior that she's been exhibiting all on that reality show. Not only that, it even gets worse because then she goes on to say that as an aspiring gospel artist with a brand new album being released, she is currently an active and willing participant in adultery by claiming that she and her husband have an open relationship. Now, I know some people wanted to say, oh, maybe she meant as in like open communication. We openly communicate. We share each other. We tell each other everything. We share everything with us. No, she did not mean that. She states it twice that they are in an open relationship. She wanted to keep that private. If y'all just sharing everything with each other, each other's business, there's no reason to keep that private. But she said she wanted to keep private the fact that, she and her husband are in an open relationship. So we all know what that means. But how are you going to be singing the gospel but choosing to actively commit sin? That math just don't math. It's not mathing.
When someone trying to sell gospel music but still choosing to stay in they mess.
My husband and I, what y'all don't understand, we do have an open relationship.
Get somebody else to do it.
Now, here's the thing. I don't think anybody really believes that Latocha is acting on the same freedom in her marriage that Rocky does. But the very fact that she would get in front of potentially millions of people that are, people she can witness to, and she chose to justify sin so that she could try to make her husband look like less of a no good. I mean, that shows you who she really considers God in her life. You can't justify sin to exalt a man over God. So because she wants this man to look so good, she's going to say, forget all what it says in the Bible, to her audience that she's trying to reach through her gospel album. Forget all what the Bible says. You want to keep your man, keep him happy. It's okay to do this right here. No, that is just not. That showed you, like I said, it showed you who she considers God in her life. And she even said it.
I'm not saying this to make it seem like, oh, he's everything, but he's everything to me and my family. He's everything to me and our son.
Now, the really sad thing about this is, if Latocha is truly just covering for Rocky and was not a participant in any of the alleged thefts of the $30,000 from her sister or the alleged kickbacks from promoters booking Xscape, he's already shown how little regard he has for her by making her face the fallout from this and his alleged mistresses all on her own. And just as quickly as he tried to make himself look better in that meeting with Gospel Motown, where he denied any knowledge of Latocha not telling the group that she was going for a solo album, just imagine how quickly he's going to file for divorce if Latocha can't clean the mud off her reputation, and if Xscape doesn't want her back in the group. Do you all think that they're trying to follow in Will and Jada's bad marriage for life footsteps? Or you actually think that one of them will finally bail out of the toxicity of that relationship? And how many of you think it's actually going to be Rocky who does the bailing? Well, I pray that their eyes are open and they seek a true relationship with Jesus. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.